What's going on, motorsports fans? This is Jared here with the Bearded Garagistas. Sadly, my brother is not with us tonight, but he will be back. The prodigal son will return. Tonight I have, and we've slowed down a little bit with these podcasts to catch up with the YouTube, use this coronavirus time to kind of get everything synced together. Got a bunch more stuff coming out for you, and we've started these interviews again. Trying to stay with the social distancing. We're trying to follow all the rules, but we got to talk motorsports, man. There's no racing going on.
Nothing.
There's nothing
at all,
and it's killing me.
Yeah,
I know it's got to be killing you.
Yeah, I mean, a month at home is too long.
Yeah,
I mean, at first it's like, oh, cool, I get some time off of work, whatever. I'll stay at home.
Right,
and then 3-4 days into that, nah, I'm good.
Right,
need to go out.
Yeah, we gotta give you guys something. So, you know, in lieu of everything that's going on, we hope you guys are staying safe. If you're watching this on YouTube, listening on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment, do your thing. Help us out, show us the support. beardedgaragistas.com is still live. We are working on the shop, still waiting on the state of Florida. They've pretty much gone to a crawl, but we will have our shop and our merchandise out there. Hats, T-shirts, they're all coming. Stickers, we'll have it all for you. Anybody would like to support the brand, we really appreciate that. So tonight, and I'm sorry I took 2.5 minutes to introduce you. Tonight we have Josh with us. What was your Instagram handle one more time?
Dark Knight C6.
Dark Knight C6 with underscores in between, I believe.
Yep.
All right. And he's been nice enough to take the trip down from
Port St. Lucie.
So he's a little whiles away, but he brought the Vette with him and had an excuse to take it down I-95.
Yep. Get it out of the garage and have some fun a little bit.
So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of switch it up this time for you guys. Normally we go to the past first, then we come to the present. This time we're going to talk about his current build. I know he's excited to tell us about some things that he's actually done to it, lessons he's learned, what got him into IRRA, and then in racing, and then we'll go towards the back a little bit and kind of see where his roots come from and why he's rolling American muscle instead of imports like everybody else.
Been there.
So, yeah, man, I thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, I'm glad you guys had me. I mean, I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on the show.
So, what year? I know we all know it's a C6 Vette.
It's a 2008, so it's got the LS3 in it. It's got the 6L80 transmission. It's an automatic car.
Okay.
Right now, it's got a Veraram intake on it, Speed Engineering long tube headers, Speed Engineering's 3-inch X-pipe. I did keep my stock mufflers because got the MPP muffler on it, which is, like we all know, the Corvettes have the 4 exhausts. Right. On the NPP, it's actually 4 separate exhaust tips. The 2 outer ones are through the muffler,
right,
and the 2 inner pipes actually have a straight pipe welded through the muffler.
Really?
So it's semi-straight pipe. So I can keep it quiet because I got to be to work at 4:30 in the morning, so the neighbors don't like it too much, but it's all right.
Are you daily driving this?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, every day, Jupiter and back.
You're a monster. You're a monster.
I like to have fun.
All right, so he dailies the Vette. He dailies his race car. I like it. So that's kind of what you did. I know recently you put in. What have you put into it?
I have done all the work on the car myself. I just take pride in it. Shops, you know, there's tons of good shops out there. There's tons of shops doing great work. You know, but you always hear those stories, and you know, if you don't do the work yourself, you kind of.
What happens when you're at the track and it breaks down and you
don't know, because something might have not gone right on the installs. I know from doing the nitrous install, stuff happens. Yeah, stuff happens, but. It goes back to knowing how to fix it and knowing what's done and how it was done. That way, if you have to go look at it, you know what you're looking at, and you're not just like, oh, well, hopefully we can figure this out as you're sitting there at the track waiting to make your next pass.
I hear you. So the most recent thing you did was the nitrous?
Yes.
How'd that go?
It was a pretty lengthy install, but that's just because I'm very picky with things. Like, I want everything to be perfect. I like stuff hidden. It's hard to hide that kit because it's a plate kit. So
what kit did you go with?
I went with the Nitrous Outlet kit. I have
hence the shirt.
Yep. Nitrous Outlet, best nitrous plug. Need that dedicated fuel system, guys.
There you go. You heard it here. Help the man up. Let him know.
But no, I did that. I tried to hide it the best I could. The only thing that you can't really hide, it being a plate kit, is I have a nitrous solenoid, a fuel solenoid, and a purge solenoid sitting right on top of my intake manifold. That's just the way they mount in the kit.
All right.
It is what it is. Everything else, though, I have all my wiring hidden. All my connections are soldered. Everything's wire loomed. Everything's, ran where the factory wires go. So I've hidden everything.
Okay.
Minus the solenoids.
Minus the solenoids. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, for a daily drive or something you're going to the track with, I mean, you're only going to be able to hide so much.
Yeah.
And especially if they've built the kit that way without you actually going out and trying to do something custom.
Yeah.
It kind of just makes sense to have it that way.
It definitely made it easy. The kit itself it went in no problems. It was more of, I have a WinMax nitrous controller, which gives me, it's basically my watt switch and RPM window switch, so I can tell the nitrous. The car has to be at 100% watt. It has to be between this RPM and this RPM.
Okay.
And I can go as far as setting a gear lockout.
Right.
So at the track right now, I'm on the stock converter. I probably won't spray through first gear at the track. So I'll set my WinMax controller to a 1-gear lockout. So it has to see a certain RPM and then see it drop a certain RPM. And that'll tell the nitrous controller the car's shifted and you can start spraying now.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah,
That's pretty legit.
I didn't either.
The new stuff,
yeah, it's crazy what you can do now.
What was the hardest part about putting that kit in? Or what's the hardest part about nitrous on this?
Honestly, the wiring. There's a lot of wiring. You got to tap into. There's a lot of misinformation on the forums because I try to use forums over going on Facebook because everybody on Facebook's a mechanic and they know how to do it right.
Right.
And you don't.
Apparently, don't. We've all seen that.
Yeah, they know more than you. But the wiring for me, because I had to, since it's a drive-by wire car, not I don't have a throttle cable. So I had to tap into the wire on the throttle body on the actual harness to get my voltage for my watt switch for the controller. I had to tap into the coil harness to pull my tach signal for RPM.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of work.
It is, and it's very nerve-wracking cutting into a wiring harness of a car. 'Cause you're like, hey, one slip.
Especially if it's your daily?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to put in?
3 days altogether.
So kind of like figuring stuff out as you go kind of thing.
Yeah, because I wanted everything wired together, but I wanted everything hidden to a point, but I just wanted when people saw it, they're like, oh, that's actually a clean install. There's not nitrous lines running everywhere. There's not what are they called? Relays sitting everywhere because there's 4 relays with the kit because I have the WinMax controller, I have the bottle heater, I have a little billet switch panel that replaces my ashtray in the car so I can keep all that hidden. So if you look in the car now, you can't tell the car has nitrous on it until you pop the hood, you don't know.
Sneaky bastard.
Yeah. I even mounted the bottle to where my partition in the back covers the bottle so can't see it.
So if you pull up next to a black C6 Vette and you want to race them, just be careful and think twice because the man's got some tricks. You said you started to move away from the street racing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Getting into the rolls. Digs was your preference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you? I want to talk about like your IRA because I know you're kind of new to it.
Yeah, this is going to be my first season.
This will be your first season.
Yep.
You raced at the end of last season though.
No, I found out about the IRA at the end of last season. I didn't know about it.
So you've never been in never raced any other competitors?
Nope. The only time I've done anything with the IRA was the January test session.
How'd you run in that? If you want to.
It went pretty good. I mean, the car during the test session only had the Veraram intake on it. It didn't even have exhaust. It had none of that on it. So
so you don't really even know what it's going to go?
No, I have no idea. We'll find out.
What did it do in the session?
In the session, I think my best mile an hour, I want to say, was 122.
122. Are you still figuring out the whole roll thing, or you kind of already know? Because they do it different than most.
Yeah, I know what the car wants from a 40 roll. I know the car. My hardest thing is the pacing the other car and trying to get an even start because everybody's always trying to get that little advantage over somebody, you know. And
I mean, the left lane, you really don't have that issue. It's mostly when you're in the right lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see that. Like being able to keep an eye or kind of your peripheral on the car while you're looking at the green light kind of thing.
Yeah.
I in my opinion, and yeah, I've never sent a car down the track for roll racing. Played around here and there with street stuff, but well, I ain't talking about that. So, but I will say that I feel like with that right lane, I wouldn't even look at the speedometer. I couldn't care less about the 40 miles an hour. That's not my job.
True.
That's the left lane's job. So if I was driving, I think I would be more so just making sure I'm squared and then looking at green. The rest of everything, you would have to kind of almost go by feel, right? Now you normally go from dig.
Yeah, that's primarily what this car does. I've got it set up right now to where it works from a dig. It goes. I give it all it can off the line, and it.
Did you change anything for tune for roll, or you just kind of just put it up and send it?
I do have a different tune for roll. I have some shift points changed for the roll racing. I have it right now to where for the class I'm in C4 currently. I might make the jump to C3.
I think you're gonna have to with
faster.
the
if I spray it on the roll,
you get the spray on the roll.
The car's gonna have to go to C3 on the spray.
I think you're gonna have to go C3.
That's all right. C3, I'm coming for you.
Hey, who's in C3?
There's from what I've seen in the C3 class, it's got some fast cars in it.
Well, I know between C3 and C4, it's stacked.
Yeah.
C2, I think everybody's trying to play that game and stay out of C1. So you got a lot of fast cars.
Everybody's
in C2.
trying to,
So it should be this season. Once this season gets kicked off, this should be an interesting season.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
But yeah, so we talked about the car, the nitrous, IRA and things like that. Probably going to have to be C3. I'm expecting you to be in C3.
Yeah.
Do you have all the regulation stuff for C3 because the rules are different for each class?
I'll have to check that out, I guess.
So like safety precautions change. Okay. So if you're in C4, there's a certain amount of safety precautions.
Okay.
When you go to C3, C2, those safety precautions change, and you have to kind of abide by that. So what I would tell you is, even though you're in C4 and you're kind of prepared for C4, if you do have to make the jump to C3, I would probably read through that real quick, just make sure. But they got all that stuff on the website, by the way.
I'll be checking that out.
Dig racing before this, in regular, where was it? Always at the track, or were there specific shows and races you went to at the track?
It was a lot of test and tune stuff at the track. Honestly, a lot of it's been on the street. I mean, it's just that's where I came from. That's where I've always grown up.
Starts.
Don't want to sound cheesy, but I mean, Fast and Furious. That's when I was 8 to 10 years old, somewhere in there. So I mean, that was kind of the trigger to
right. That's what had everybody started.
I mean, everybody was out.
We've had this debate multiple times on this podcast about Fast and Furious, and it's a 50-50 split apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
50% of the people are like, that was the greatest thing ever. It got me into racing. It got me where I wanted to be. And then the other 50% are like, I can't believe that they did that. It made imports look like garbage. It kind of made them look like toys and blah, blah, blah.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I get where they're coming from. Because where we're at with cars now, but back when the Fast and Furious came out, that's what was popular. That was like, you saw a car like that, you're like, oh, whoa.
They put you in the time period.
Yeah,
that's like, if you put yourself in the time period, you got to understand that in that time period, that was pretty cool. And even look now, like Underglow's coming back
heavily.
So like
heavily,
it doesn't really. I'm not shocked at that.
No, I mean I was against the Underglow for a while, but as it's starting to make a comeback and technology, with all the RGB LEDs and stuff like that, it's honestly
because when it first came out and you saw like, here's one light, there's one light, there's one light, it looked pretty cheesy. Yeah, but now it definitely, like, the way it actually flows and it spreads, it looks pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I would do it on my car, but
it's not going on mine for sure.
I don't remember seeing a Corvette in Fast and Furious though. Well, in the first couple, there might be some in the last ones.
I want to say in Too Fast, Too Furious, there was a black C5 convertible that got wrecked.
Really?
Or no, maybe I'm thinking that might have actually been a Viper.
Now
might have been a Viper.
Now you're gonna make me go back and rewatch just all the Fast and Furious just for a Corvette. If there was one on there, leave a comment, let us know, and correct us, please.
It might have been a Viper.
What did you have before this? How long have you had this?
Yesterday was 1 year with the car.
Oh, so it's like brand new to you.
To me, yeah. I bought it bone stock with 46,000 miles on it.
It looks beautiful. Who had it before you?
One owner car before me. I did pick it up from a dealership though, with the one owner traded in at the dealership. So
it looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I got a deal on the car. I had 2 motorcycles before I had the car.
What kind?
I had a 17 KTM RC 390, just a little smaller bike, and then I had a Gixxer 750.
Okay. Yeah, I had a Yamaha R1.
Okay.
We wrecked that.
Yeah.
And then I got into I had a Harley Breakout for a while.
Okay.
And then when I got out of the military, I had to get rid of it. So sad story.
Yeah.
But cars before this. Were there race cars before this? So this is like the first kind of race car?
No,
I mean, you put a nitrous kit in yourself. You must know something.
I had experience with nitrous when I was 18, and I just used that experience to make sure this one's a good one. We'll just say that. First experience with nitrous wasn't a pleasant
What'd you do to it?
I had a 98 Mustang, and I mean, I had a cold air intake on it, some gears, and a drag radial, and I bought like this used kit off Craigslist because that's when Craigslist was popular.
Oh, of course.
And
Craigslist.
It was like a half-ass kit. I mean, there's everything was like wire tied together and like electrical taped, and I mean, I sprayed a 200 shot off a button on a basically stock car untuned. It lasted 30 pounds of nitrous before it finally blew up. But when it blew up, it blew up. It blew up.
Holy shit, dude.
It split the hood. It popped.
Really?
The intake manifold exploded. I had a nitrous backfire. It blew the intake manifold apart because they're plastic they're composite on those cars. It shredded the fuel line, and just big ball of fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Where was it? Were you on the street?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I was on Jensen Beach Boulevard, main road. I shut the whole road down. They had both lane or all 4 lanes blocked off both directions. They just car burning.
I wish I could have seen that. I wish you had a video of it.
It's
Do you have
hilarious.
a video of it?
I don't. I have old pictures and stuff, but they're so grainy.
I don't care. You got to send me those pictures. Right, I got to put them in the YouTube video. Oh, that's savage, bro.
It's hilarious looking back now, but back then it's
scared the shit out of you.
That sucked.
Yeah.
That sucked.
What were you thinking when you were behind the wheel of that?
Honestly, when it first popped, I wasn't too upset because I'm like, hey, now my wife can't tell me I can't get that intake manifold that I wanted. And then it immediately black smoke and flames, and I was like, oh, this might be a little bit more than an intake manifold at this point. But I mean, hey, we all start somewhere. We're all kids.
Was that your first like race car?
Yeah.
It was the Mustang.
Yeah.
Damn. So what was the path of cars from Mustang to Vette?
Path of cars after the Mustang, I had.
Because right now sounds all American muscle.
I had a Civic after the Mustang.
Ooh.
I had a little Civic.
We'll
leave it that I had a Civic.
Did you play with it? Did you?
Honestly, I bought the car cheap. I bought the car for $900.
That's pretty cheap.
It was an EG coupe, single cam. The exhaust rusted and fell off, so it was
loud,
ungodly loud. It was awful.
It's like you're driving down the road, you look in the rearview mirror, and the exhaust like just like detaches, and
it's just
I don't need that.
Instantly, just bang. You're like, oh no, what just
happened?
That's different. But I had that. It didn't come with a radio. I put a radio in it, and literally the car never ran again.
After you put the radio in it? Maybe that was the trick.
Went to start the car, wouldn't start. Motor had no compression. You put a radio in the car, destroyed your engine. Yeah, lost all compression in the engine somehow. I literally drove to Ace Hardware because I think I needed a bolt or something, and to finish putting the radio in, or a ground screw or something. And I got the ground screw and I put it in, and then I went to start the car to drive home, and
Nothing.
Oh
my God!
I sat there for like 2 hours waiting for my buddy to come tow the car home with a tow strap.
Dude, that is hilarious. Because all I could think of is when you were telling me it took me 3 days and I had to figure out the wiring, and it's terrifying cutting into the harness. And then you tell me a story like that, and I'm like, that makes sense. So why he's terrified to cut into a harness?
I put a radio in a car and it didn't work anymore. But luckily, back then, EG coupes were really popular, so I didn't lose any money on it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sold it as a roller. Somebody picked it up quick.
There you go.
I went from that to trucks for a little while.
Slam trucks, lifted trucks, powerful trucks.
Lifted.
Yeah.
I went and used to play out in the woods and stuff like that. Have a little bit of fun. I
You
remember
you do live up in the boonies, so
yeah. I took my wife out one time. She's like, "I'm not going out in a truck with you. We're not going." And I'm like, "Come on! Like I've already been out there all day. I haven't got stuck. We're not going to get stuck." As soon as I took her back out there, we got stuck. Literally framed the truck out, just stuck. And I'm like, she just looks at me. And she is so
like,
mad.
You're an asshole.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
This
I'm
never
like,
happens. Yo, it's funny because somebody say that because I had an off-road Tacoma before I had my Camry. Great truck, by the way. Took it out to the West Coast. Like if you go straight across Alligator Alley, there's like this off-road park out there that you can take it to. You pay like $20 to get in with the truck, and it's too easy. So went out there with like 2 or 3 trucks, get out there. And I told the wife before, I was like, you should come out. It's fun. She's like, no, I'm not. That's not me. I'm not into that off-road stuff. I'm like, just come out. She came out there. I grabbed my camera and I jumped out the truck. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to go take some photos if you want to take the truck and the baby. Because it's pretty flat out there. I mean, don't get me wrong. You could do some crazy shit, but you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? You could take it, just kind of roll around. I turn around, I'm taking photos. I turn around, I'm like, oh, there goes my truck. And then like, there, wait, she's getting really close. Boof, buries it in a freaking lake. And she just stomped the gas, dude, and it plowed right through. Yeah, It was a great truck. It went right through. I knew it would go through, but to see my wife behind the wheel with my baby in the car and me not in the car, I was like, what is she doing?
Oh, man.
And it was just like, boom. And I actually have a picture of it. I'll try to find it for you guys. But it's literally a picture of just like all the water and everything just coming right over the hood into this. And she's got right after that, she like flapped the windshield wipers on. So the windshield wipers like, wow. It was funny.
Having
but
a good
yeah,
time.
she took off. Like after that, she pulls out. She's like, "Do you see that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw that." And she's like, "All right, I'll see you later." Just rolls up the window, keeps going. And I'm like standing there with my camera in the middle of nowhere. So she thought she was gonna hate it, but she loved it.
Hey, that's all that matters.
How long did you stay with the trucks?
Not very long, honestly. I mean, I liked the cars. You
gotta go fast.
Yeah,
you wanted to go fast.
Yeah,
fair enough.
After the truck, I got into an SRT4 Neon.
Yo, here's the thing.
Slept on.
Very
hard. Yeah.
Because I will say I've seen some fast SRT4s. I've seen them fast. They sound good when you mid dump them.
Yeah. Yes.
They got that nice throaty growl to them. I really do believe that car gets the short end of the stick a lot of the time, and it doesn't need to.
The reason it does is there's not a very broad aftermarket for it. You have like 3 or 4 companies that are making quality parts that you can buy, and everybody looks to them as, oh, it's my first turbo car, or, getting into the turbo car scene. So you get it and you want to, do cheap stuff, and you see a turbo kit on eBay for $300 and put that on, get the car tuned. Don't do the eBay turbo kit.
Please do not do the eBay. I will say though that there's a red one that goes out to PBIR. And he's pretty quick. I think he comes up north where you are. And
I know there's one. I follow him on Instagram. It's I want to say it's Boost SRT4 is his name, and he's got a red one, and it is a nice
They're
car.
quick.
And I believe he's in. I don't know whether he's in C2 or C3. But I know he's up there. I know that mile an hour is up there on that car. I was watching.
Sorry, I was distracted by the Harley Davidson driving by. I know everybody heard that. As you could hear that, the traffic going by. Yeah, we're not in our normal space with the COVID-19. We've had to go into hiding. So we're in a buddy's garage again. Same garage that hooked us up for Jermaine's interview. Yep. So we really appreciate props to the gentleman helping us out with the garage and the location. But
absolutely.
Yeah, SRT4 is definitely slept on.
Yeah.
I don't even think they looked that bad. I mean,
no, I loved that.
They weren't
car.
that bad.
I will say that's
blow that one up too.
No, but I put enough money into it that I wish I probably would have just blown it up from the get go. I put a lot of money into that car. That's
you
probably
got it bone stock.
Yeah, basically it had a aftermarket AGP wastegate, which everybody has, and it still had the stock downpipe and everything else other than that. So, I mean, it was basically stock car. It came with a Diablo Sport tuner, so I'm sure it had some CAN 93
so it had
tune on it. Yeah. But I I painted that car Lexus Pearl White that they put on the SC300s.
Yeah.
I had the roof painted black. I had the PVO spoiler molded to the trunk. I had the keyhole shaved on the trunk. I mean, I put a lot of money. I put like $8,000 in paint on the car. On a neon. I can buy like 2 or 3 SRT4s for $8,000 right now, and I put that in paint on the car. But dude, I love that car. It was such a fun car. It was so like, I always hated them too.
What you just said. What?
I always did until I drove it, and then I was just like, "This is it. This is great.
This is
like,
it's got to be it."
Why do people hate these so much? This is awesome.
I'll say this though, like a lot of people take that for granted, right? You're like, "Yo, I love the car, so I dumped money into it."
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are like, "Oh, why are you putting money into this car?" You know, if you love something, you're gonna put money into it. You're gonna put your time, your effort. You know, some people love Hondas, they'll stick with Hondas and they'll dump $1 million into a Honda, even though it may or may not be the fastest thing. You look at like people stick with GTRs, Lambos, things like that. They stay that way not because it may not be. Listen, some people are going to go out there and just want to be the fastest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't care what I drive personally as long as I'm going fast.
Yeah.
But there are some people that do this and are in motorsport for the love of what they have, like what they do, right? The racing and the car that they have. So that's a big thing that you said. Like people would probably look down on something like that. And to me, I think it's fair enough. I mean, as I don't have to watch you dump all that money into it, I'd probably be sitting there like, guy, come on, please stop doing that. But in all honesty, it wasn't a bad car. It's a car that you loved.
Yeah.
$8,000 just in paint.
Just in paint.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and
did you do anything under the hood?
Oh yeah, I did a lot. I did. I basically did everything minus rods, pistons, and cams.
Damn.
So I mean, it had a AGP AGP turbo kit on it with a precision 5858 precision wastegate. Screamer pipe out the wiper cowl, so wastegate opens, start shooting flames out the wiper cowl. Why not? I mean, it's a turbo car. That's what they're for, right? Everybody loves flames. You guys know you love flames.
Everybody loves flames. We talked about it with Corey because Corey's like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't care. I just want the smallest car with the biggest engine. And he's like, dude, just put some pipes on the side. You got 4-foot zoomies going down the track. And I'm like, to be honest with you, everybody loves flames.
I mean, it's just something cool. And I built the whole fuel system for that car myself. Did a whole custom setup on it. Had to... I used the stock sending unit, and I just modified it, cut holes in it for dash 6 fittings, feed and return line, because it was a returnless style system, so I made it a return style. Dude.
That's unreal.
Injectors, I mean, everything that you can do to the car minus rods and pistons. I mean, the car ended up making, on 93, on 24 pounds, it made 418 and 387 at the tire.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's not fast like some of these SRT4s around here. Like that red one, it wouldn't... Not that fast, but I mean, for a street car, you catch a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like I wouldn't expect to run up on that and it be have 450 horsepower, and just not at all.
No,
that's pretty funny though.
That car was great from a roll. That's
a car to go from a roll. That's definitely a car. Is that what you had before this?
Before this, I had the Trans Am WS6.
What color?
Pewter. That goldish tan.
Like you gotta like throw up.
Oh color. Man, I love pewter. Stop. Pewter. It's a color that's got to grow on you, though. I mean,
it definitely does. I'm only messing with you, though. Yeah, it wasn't out. But what'd you do? You were on. You said you raced that one though.
I raced.
You said
you
used to be on the
Street Racing Made Safe when they were at PBIR. When they did the dig list, I was on their dig list for 2 or 3 months, something short. And then I took the car apart and bought like 3 different motors for it, because every time I'd get a motor set up, it's just my buddy's like, hey, I got this motor, it's bigger and it's already done, you want it, I'll give you a good deal. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then he's like, hey, I got this one, it's a 450. And I'm like, cubic inch? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, out of an LS? I'm like, all right, man, let's do
Slap
that.
It in there, let's see what it does.
And then
that thing had to be fast.
I never finished it. Sold it, man. It was one of those things. It was one of those things where the job came into play. So family had to come first. The car had to go.
That's rough, though.
Yeah.
Does it eat at you?
Yes and no. Yes, before this. Now that I have this, I'm okay. I'm all right with it now.
It put a Band-Aid over it. He's a little bit better.
I think I'll be all right.
What do you? How much horsepower you have in this?
Before the nitrous and the other mods, it was 420 at the tires. So with the 85 and the nitrous, it'll hopefully 575, 600 at the tire.
That should be pretty decent.
Yeah. The main goal, I mean, obviously I want to go to the IRA. I want to compete. I want to win. Nobody wants to lose.
Yeah.
But my biggest goal in the car right now is I'm just trying to set up a budget-friendly build. I'm doing a write-up on the nitrous install because I couldn't find all the information that I needed online, or if I could find the information, you had to search through hundreds of replies on a thread on, and then everybody's saying this, no, do this, no, do that.
That's a pretty cool way to give back, where you're kind of just putting it all together in one location.
All together, one place, how to install everything, how to wire it all in conjunction with each other, and, I have...
Look at nice guy Josh over here helping
I try to help you guys out the best I can. But I'm trying to go 10s for under 4,000. So
okay,
we're nearing the $4,000 mark. So I'm hoping with the current setup, once everything's ready to go, it'll go
600 in the Vette. How much nitrous are you throwing into it? You sneaky. You don't have to answer.
Yeah, sorry guys, you don't get everything.
Oh,
you don't get everything.
That's fine. That's fine. I think you got 10s. I think it'll go 10s.
I hope so. I really hope
if
so.
It doesn't,
I don't even care if it's
close.
a 1099. Like 1099 is still a 10 for me.
I think it'll be close, but I think you got it.
Yeah.
I understand you want to go 10s for 4 and the budget build. If you didn't have that budget cap, say tomorrow, COVID-19 ends, you get an ass load of work, and we just kind of can go ahead and throw money into it. What would you do next? Where would the ceiling be?
I am trying to go 10s for 4,000, but that's just the goal, and then there's another goal. There's plenty more parts going into it.
We're moving to a next goal.
That's why I'm not too concerned with having to make the jump to C3, because what I have planned for the car, I know might honestly push the limits of the C3.
Okay.
I mean, it's.
We really just don't know. We really have to get out there and test it.
I got to see what the car does. I have no idea right now. It's untested.
I'm excited.
I am too. I mean,
because I've been excited for IRA season to start and racing to get going again.
I was really amped up about it. I was so... you know what happened with the IRA event? I washed my car before I left, and that's what brought the rain. That had to be it. If you wash your car, it's going to rain, always.
I will tell you from a photographer's standpoint, though, I really thank you guys for washing your car before you bring it to the track.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just saves me so much time. It looks so much better. You know how many times I've had people be like, yo, can you take the fingerprints off the hood from where it closed the hood?
Oh.
Just give it a little wipe down, a little chamois before you take it to the line.
Can't bring a microfiber with you? I mean...
it's not. I understand it's not a show car, but help us out. Help the photographers out. But that's funny. I just really can't wait to see the Mustang photos of it being blown up.
Yeah, dude, it's good. It's good. I mean, there's... the flames are probably double the height of the car that you can see in the picture. But I mean, I'm way back because the sheriffs at that point told me I had to walk away. And it burnt the entire car except for the trunk. So after they got the fire out, like the seats were burnt down to the frame, the steering wheel was burnt down to the frame. There's no interior left. I go up to the sheriff. I'm like, hey, can I get my nitrous bottle out the trunk? He's like, it's your car. Do what you want.
That's
the tow
crazy.
truck driver's like, hey man, you better. Who do I have? I don't have the same insurance company. Tow truck driver's like, hey, you better pull all this nitrous stuff out of the car before it goes to the insurance company.
He checked to make sure he got a different insurance company.
You guys can't get me for that.
That's funny.
Different company.
if you had to get this to 1,000, right? You said you assume it's probably around 6.
Yeah.
If you had to get it to 1,000, what would be the next thing you would do?
Next, honestly, I want to do, for right now, I want to do heads, cam, and intake on it. I want to put a Holly high ram on the car. Cam and heads and cam on Instagram. He's got a red Z06. That car is nasty, and I love the way the high ram looks coming out of that hood.
I'm telling you, bro, this car was meant for straight line speed. I mean, don't get me wrong, they drive around the track very nice, and I remember when the C6 came out and they did the endurance, but watching these cars squat and get down the track, It's an impressive thing.
The craziest thing is it's a leaf spring suspension.
Really?
Yep. Single composite leaf spring, front and rear.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Still running on leaf springs.
You haven't changed any of that?
No. Suspension stock,
You have plans to change it?
I have plans to do tubular up front and stuff like that. Eventually it'll get coilovers when it gets to that point, but there's guys going plenty fast in the 8s on stock suspension, so I'm not going to put the money there until I need to.
You would put the money other places before you put the money there. That's fair enough. I could see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. Did we cover everything that you wanted to cover? There's got to be something out there that you had to throw out.
I don't know. It's
any tips and tricks for the nitrous build or anything like that?
Pay attention to what you're doing. Don't just go in there and start cutting wires and solder your connections. Don't use these wire ties. Don't crimp. Use crimps and stuff like that. Solder everything. Solder it. Because, you got to, another reason why I'm doing the write-up. I pulled tack. The Corvette forums tell you to pull your tack signal from the gray wire in the back of your gauge cluster. I pulled tack signal from there. My idle's 650 RPM. It was reading 2,360 RPM at idle.
Whoa.
Obviously, that being my window switch and activating my nitrous where I activate it, don't worry about it. That's gonna activate. Dude,
you're pretty good at being sneaky, though.
Hey, you have to be. Like I said, I'm going to the track, but I grew up doing the thing on the streets, man, and the streets are sneaky. You can't tell everybody
what you got.
The streets are sneaky.
I'm gonna have to take some photos and a little quick, some videos of the setup.
Oh yeah,
do you mind if I get on the hood?
You guys can see it.
All right, I'm gonna try to show you guys what's going on.
Just for them. I'll let you guys see it.
But, yeah, so we just really hope. Don't get me wrong, we're going to do this again. We always have everybody come back after the IRA season, during it, whatever races you go to. We're going to have Josh back, and we're going to have all the rest of our guys back.
Awesome.
And some of these episodes go an hour and a half, and some of them go for, I think we've been going for about 45 minutes now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. It goes fast, right?
Yeah, I would have thought
like that.
Like 15 minutes. I'm like, man, I got to have something else.
No, you don't. But yeah, we'll have a lot more stories. He'll definitely have some stories after the IRA goes. We'll tell you if he's going to be in C3.
Hopefully you guys don't get too mad at me. I'm not trying to hurt feelings, but I'm out there to win.
There you go. Everybody does that. Yeah. You can't get mad at anybody. Everybody's going out to win.
We all want to win.
Bearded Garagistas will be out there for IRA. We will do our best to make it to all the tracks. All the races. Yeah. Now that they've all moved around, we got to figure that out, how that's going to go. But yeah, we're going to get to the track. We're going to do a broadcast from the track. So hopefully we'll be able to meet up with you at the track, get you to come up to the tower and have a couple words with us, see how it's running.
Yeah.
And stay tuned to Bearded Garagistas because we're going to let you know where Josh is going and hopefully comes home with that fat trophy.
That's what it's all about.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming down.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you guys again. beardedgaragistas.com. Check it out. A lot of information on there. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, share it, get it out there. Promise you guys the shop's coming. I told you the YouTube was coming and it's here. And the shop will come. You'll be able to get T-shirts, hats, stickers. We're coming out with everything. And not everything is just going to say Bearded Garagistas on it. There'll be actual T-shirts, random T-shirts about everything. So thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
See you guys.